Do you know that when someone suddenly disappears from your life without an explanation, without a goodbye, it's called ghosting? I'm sure you know that. And of course, while it kind of feels personal sometimes, most of the time it's not about you. And oftentimes I think that ghosting isn't just a dating thing. It happens in relationships, it happens in family dynamics, it even happens in professional spaces. It can cut quite deep because human beings are ultimately wired for connection. We're wired for closure, we're wired for meaning. In fact, connection or relatedness, it's one of the inner psychological needs that we all strive for. And so when someone goes silent, it creates a psychological vacuum that oftentimes, that our mind kind of oftentimes races to fill. So, and sometimes when that happens, we ask ourselves a number of questions like, do I do something wrong? Were they never who I thought that they were supposed to be? But here's the thing. I think that ghosting is rarely about your worth. It's often about the other person's discomfort with conflict. It can also be as a result of their fear of emotional vulnerability. Maybe they don't want to confront what's going on in that relationship. And sometimes it can also be as a result of unresolved trauma, in which case, either way, that there's not much that you could do about it. In fact, psychologists, we kind of see this as a form of emotional avoidance, a defense mechanism. So yes, ghosting can be a defense mechanism for most people. Oftentimes, it's used to escape uncomfortable truths or relational responsibility. And so some people ghost because, again, they also may lack the relational skills to deal with tension in a relationship. Others ghost because they kind of associate the confrontation with some kind of danger. In some other cases, some people still do so because they never learned how to exit a relationship with dignity. And so the best way to do it is to ghost the other person. Well, here's where I think flourishing comes in. Flourishing means living a life that is good, not just for yourself, but ultimately for others. It means that you're cultivating the emotional courage, the relational integrity, and even the maturity to communicate hard things with grace in a relationship context, even when it's uncomfortable. And so ghosting, at its root in itself, I think, is the opposite of flourishing. It's avoidance mechanism that is dressed up as autonomy. And yet, how we respond to being ghosted, I think also can really reveal something about our part to flourishing. Because the question is, will it kind of, are we going to retaliate by ghosting other people in our lives? Are we going to ruminate on the fact that we've been ghosted? Or will we choose to grieve, and from that grief, grow, and from the growth itself, move forward with compassion and create boundaries in our lives? And so the next time that someone disappears from your life, I hope that you don't ghost yourself in the process, but rather you stay rooted in your own integrity, because flourishing is not just about how others treat you. It's about how you show up for yourself, how you love well in spite of the brokenness that you've experienced, and how you let go when you must. And so if this kind of open your eye in some way to something deeper in your life itself, I hope that you can subscribe to our platforms and follow all of our platforms on Facebook, even on LinkedIn, and even on YouTube, and even on Spotify for more insights like this on the psychology for everyday life. This is Rick the Cannon. I hope I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.